the New York City hustle and bustle, grind, non-equity list, wake up early. I've been there, done that. If I'm gonna do this, like I want to go out on my terms, like I want to feel like I didn't regret anything and like be pushed out by a pandemic. I could dance when I move. I haven't yet, and I haven't really missed it, which is really weird for me. I felt also like I was getting burned out from getting validation from like the jobs I booked. I don't think I would look back and be like, wow, I really missed doing that show, but I could look back and be like, wow, I really missed out on life.
Today, we're chatting with Monica Bryant, former professional dancer turned interior designer. She's performed in countless musical theater productions at Paper Mill Playhouse, the Art Center of Coastal Carolina, and many, many more, in dancer favorites such as Disney's Beauty and the Beast, West Side Story, and A Chorus Line. She was also the assistant choreographer for the Broadway national tour of A Bronx Tale, and kept busy as a working dancer in New York City. Now she's sharing her story on getting married, moving away from the big city, and becoming an interior designer. Hope you enjoy. Well, thank you, Monica, so much for joining me. I just want to kick right off. Let's start with your dance background, your dance training. When did you start? All that fun
Mhm.
stuff.
Well, thank you for having me. I started dancing when I was 3. My mom put me in ballet, as moms do when you're
Classic.
yourself, classic. And then just like really loved it, continued on doing like branching out into jazz and tap. So ballet was like my first love. Wanted to be like a prima ballerina, do the whole thing. Ended up having a hip injury, so I kind of shifted into more like musical theater. So that's like what most of my career is in musical theater, a lot of regional theater. I got an awesome opportunity to be like the assistant choreographer for a Broadway tour, which was really great. So like stepping into a leadership role. Yeah. So that's kind of like in a nutshell, a quick little snippet.
Yeah, so started the classic ballet route, went to musical theater and went hard musical theater. It sounds like that's where your career went. It was full musical theater, kind of the hardcore. Were you were in New York then, right? You moved to New
Yes.
York? Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to school in New York and then stayed there. Probably was there for like almost 10 years between school and then performing. So, like the New York City hustle and bustle, grind, non-equity list, wake up early. I've been there, done that. Ended up getting my equity card, so that was like slightly easier. But yeah, totally was like fully immersed in the audition scene, like all the audition buddies, all the friends, lots of classes at Steps and Broadway Dance Center, just being in that full community, like fully immersed.
Yeah, amazing. And so many dancers are like that. I'm from Florida, and so a lot of the dancers just went up the East Coast and did the
Yeah.
New York route. Um, it's I never did that full thing, but I would fly up for auditions and stuff, and
Mhm.
even just even just a weekend or a week that I would spend there just doing the New York thing, I was like, oh my gosh, this is overwhelming.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
fun.
yeah, that's awesome. So when did you decide to change careers? Was it sort of a slow burn? Was it a hard stop? What did that look like?
It was a slow burn for sure. I mean, I'm sure like a lot of people were affected by COVID, so that's kind of where my shift happened. The stuff that I was working on got shut down and there was no work in this industry. So I was like, what else am I interested in? How can I make money? Like, where am I going with this? Like, if I'm not performing, that was kind of my like fork in the road. Like, what do I want to do with my life instead? So I ended up like falling into interior design, which also is like very creative. So I started out working for a company that had like a lot of training tools, like all online. So I kind of started there and like taught myself a bunch of stuff. Was doing that, ended up working like full time for like a kitchen and bath design company. And then things started to like slowly come back for like the performing world, like 2021 in the summer. And so I quit my full-time job and I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, like I want to go out on my terms. Like I want to feel like I didn't regret anything and like be pushed out by a pandemic. So I kind of straddled both worlds then. I was doing like part-time design stuff while still auditioning, and that was like a really good balance for a while. Um, and then I got engaged. I've been with my now husband for like more than 6 years. So the two of us have been talking about like if Manhattan was our forever place anyway. So a lot of the decisions like in the more recent years have come as like a partnership instead of just for myself, which is totally fine. And like learning how to work for two people instead of one person. And we have a dog, so we've got like our little family. And we ended up deciding to move to North Carolina randomly. So that was kind of like my, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna just, I could dance when I move. I haven't yet, and I haven't really missed it, which is really weird for me. Um, but I'm like fully immersed in design. I'm working with a really awesome company that is like home staging. So we like put the furniture in and stage stuff for like resale, which is great. It's been an awesome company, and I'm working with fantastic ladies that inspire me. So it's just like a different set of things, but I'm still being creative. So lots of things happened, but
Yeah, no, I love that. My story is very similar, so I can definitely relate, especially to the piece where you have a partner and it's not just about you anymore. And I think a lot of dancers shy away from talking about that. I was even talking to a friend the other day who, yeah, she's engaged now, and it's sort of this strangely taboo thing in the dance world, like, oh, you're gonna stop for a boy or something or
right,
whatever. And it's
right,
like, well, no, but that's one of the most important things in life is,
right,
starting a family, even if it's just you two. And it's it's special and lovely. And so why do we shy away from that when that's such another big part of your life? It doesn't have to be shunned.
right.
So I love that. My story is very similar. I stopped in 2018, and while the pandemic definitely, played a part in some of it, I totally relate to wanting to finish on your terms and not sort of be pushed out by something else. Of course, you can't always, if you get injured or something, obviously you feel for those dancers so much
Right.
where, um, ideally you want to have a choice. And that's a big thing in Pivot for Dancers. I try to push that you can start your career change before you fully finish so that it is on your
Yeah,
terms because,
exactly.
unfortunately, it's a notoriously short career, no
Mhm.
matter what, just with your body and with the industry and the standards that you have to uphold. Um, I'd love to change that in the industry, but that's probably not
Yeah.
for me to do.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like giving yourself permission to explore other interests and do it on your terms, and you don't have to stop cold turkey.
Right. I feel like also it's like a lot of times it seems you have to be like fully committed, all or nothing. Like you, if you have anything on the outside, like it's kind of looked down upon. And I've always had the mindset of not always actually, I'll say I learned to have the mindset of finding other things outside of it that fulfill me. Because if I felt also like I was getting burned out from getting validation from like the jobs I booked or didn't book.
Totally.
I feel like affected a lot of my like mental capacity as well. And like I'm generally a very happy person and was like, I can find my happiness outside of just like Monica the dancer. Like, what if I want to be like Monica the mom, Monica the, dog mom, whatever, wife. So there's like a lot of different facets that you can want to explore. And even just like having that want, sometimes I would feel guilty for it. But now I'm like, I'm just going to dive right in and see what happens. And it's actually been very fulfilling to get fulfilled through work. Like, I feel like I've been climbing the ladder and like doing different things. People are appreciating me for like leadership skills and work ethic and all the things that make a good dancer do also make a good employee and like coworker. So finding those different things has also been like very rewarding just in a different way.
Absolutely. We have so many skills that can go into many other industries, and just because it's like you haven't peaked as a dancer,
Right.
like you
Right.
you can still be ambitious and you can still want to succeed and be at the top levels of other industries, and you really can be. It doesn't end with dance. So that's great to hear that you kind of came to that on your own in a way. But I'd love to know, so you said that you fell into interior design.
Mhm.
How did that happen?
I I guess I've always been interested in it. Like my mom was an HGTV fanatic, so always had the TV shows on. She's also was very creative. She went to FIT, was in like fashion merchandising. So she's always just like had great taste, always put together like a beautiful home. So I've just like been around that, but never felt like I had the time to like fully explore it. So just randomly was like on LinkedIn trying to find like a home stylist or something that I was maybe interested in. Happened upon a company that like had the tools, like I said earlier, that I could like learn how to do Photoshop, learn different scale, learn different things, and then I would get my own clients. And then that kind of snowballed into the kitchen and bath company, like randomly reached out to me, which I had no experience in, to be very fair. I fully faked it to make that job happen. Learned
That's
a lot.
amazing though. Like that's what you got to
I
do.
don't know.
Yeah.
How you present yourself in an audition is how you present yourself in a job interview. Lots of
Yes.
faking it. So, but no, I learned so much at that job. A lot of failure, which you like learn from and never want to do again. But just like hands-on, I ended up then going back to the other company, did a lot of work with like high-end clients in Manhattan, got to like work on really cool jobs, get to be like in person working with people, getting to really see things firsthand. I don't know. I just feel like I fell into it because I didn't go to school for it. I guess that's what I mean. Like a lot of people like want the degree and I just didn't have it. So I guess that's kind of what I mean.
No, that's great. And I think dancers are so like that too. It's obviously this whole career change is mostly a mindset
It is 100%.
reframing, because the practical things, it's like once you know what you want, it's like you kind of know how to go and get it. I think dancers were all quite entrepreneurial because every job is pretty much a contracted job. You're always looking for the next thing. You're always marketing yourself in one way or another. And that becomes so valuable in like the normal job market because so many people
Right.
aren't like that. And just that you were on LinkedIn, you were just looking for what you wanted. Like it is out there. And I totally agree. Even if you think you might need a degree or they're asking for a degree, I think still go for it because
Totally.
you bring so like you kind of bring the dance university, which is just
Yeah.
kind of a crash course in a lot of things when you don't
Mhm.
really realize it, and you don't have to go back and get another degree, especially if you have a bachelor's in something else. Say you have, you went to a lot of people went to college for dance. You
Right.
don't need to go back and spend a bunch of money, especially if you're in the US, like just
Yeah.
try the other things first is what I always
Yeah.
say because it's a wild time out there. But that sounds great, and uh, it's nice that you seem to kind of easily be able to pull those skills from dance into your new career. But I'm
Mhm.
wondering about the challenges that happened during that time. I'm guessing there are probably more mindset. Although you did say that you didn't miss it as much as you thought, and I had that same experience too. So I'd love to know about the challenges of the transition.
Yeah. I mean, I was still like auditioning up until the week we moved to North Carolina. Like I think I just felt like because I was in New York, I like had to do it, even though I maybe even then was like, oh, I gotta go to this audition, gotta shut my laptop. I would rather be like spending time with my clients. Um, which also is probably, a sign that I was kind of ready. But yeah, I moved and I was like, there's like different ballet studios around I could take classes from. But I think I just loved the New York community and like my dance people and the teachers that are there. even more so than just like the dancing. Like I work out a lot too now too, so I kind of like shifted into just like training that way instead of for dance. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just I thought that I was gonna miss it. My body feels a lot better, like physically,
Oh my
uh,
gosh, yeah.
which is like I didn't even know my body could feel this good.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice. But I think it's more so like I miss my friends in the community versus like even just taking class felt like I had to be like on and like I'm auditioning and marketing myself. So it's just kind of like a breath of fresh air that I don't have to be doing that anymore. And if I ever
Yeah.
want to, like I can and I just won't have that pressure on myself. But it's not pressure that's even there all the time. It's just pressure that I'm going to put on myself just because of the situation. So I don't know if that answered your question, but
No, it's great. Like I have a lot of the same, or I had a lot of the same experiences where it is mostly the people.
hmm.
Certain casts that were really close or
Yeah.
like, but that's the same when you're ending any contract, I feel. It's
Yeah.
sad regardless, and you kind of have to do that a lot throughout a dance career. But it's so true. It is that community, and I think you can rebuild that community. But at the same time, because these conversations are so taboo, for
Hmm.
whatever reason, it's so unhelpful, which is what I'm trying to
I
bring
know.
to the
Yeah.
surface. Is it can feel really isolating because like your dance friends don't really get why you're
Right.
stopping. Like
Right.
it's kind of hard to talk to them about it because they're just not ready, and that's
Right.
fine. Like keep doing it, live your best life, like go for it.
Right.
But at the same time, you meet new people, at least for me, in my new job, as much as everyone's lovely and you make friends, it's not quite the same. It's not quite as intimate. And I think there is something special there in the dance community in general, and would be in New York for sure, just because everybody, like there's so many dancers
Hmm.
there at just such a high level. And I think that's why so many people gravitate towards New York in particular. So yeah, it's interesting because those are going to be the challenges. It's going to be like kind of the loneliness and the just the mindset stuff of should I be missing this? Should I be going back? And have you taken any classes since you've retired? Yeah,
No,
cool.
it's kind of crazy. I still have my Laducas.
Yep.
I still have my leotards and my book of music if I ever need it.
Yeah.
I like let go of my audition songs yet. Um, no, I haven't. I was
Yeah,
thinking
that's yeah.
like virtual class, but even when I have done that in the past, it doesn't fulfill me the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, and maybe it wouldn't. So I moved from the US to Australia, and I'm in Brisbane,
Yeah.
Australia. So I'm not even
Okay.
in. I'm in. It's like the third biggest city. It's big enough for me. I think it's perfect, but there's not as much dance stuff. There's definitely big, like the Queensland Ballet is here, and there is a great studio in the city that I do sometimes take class at, but it's not quite the same as taking class in New York. So actually during COVID, I jumped on when BDC was doing those virtual classes. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I can actually take from these teachers. Like, whoa. But it is not the same because you're alone in your living room and whatever. But yeah, it it was hard for me even going back into the studio because you instantly, for me, I went back into that mode of it was kind of triggering more than anything. I've gotten to a point now where I can take class and it's still for fun, but I definitely don't do it as often as I probably thought I would when I was fully in it. I don't miss it. I want to be doing other things. I want to be, I don't know, even just cooking or working on
Right.
other things. Like when you start at age 3 and
Yeah.
I'm now 33,
Mhm.
like I'm good. Like I'm kind
Yeah.
of good for a bit, you know?
Been a whole life, already been a lifetime, you know?
Yeah, and most people don't even start their thing until, maybe you're a teenager, but maybe you're 18, even 20. Like
Yeah.
we already had this whole experience for a long time. So that's
Yeah.
sort of my feeling. I'm like, I'm good.
Looked at it that way. That's a good perspective.
Mm. It's it's a long time. It's decades
It is
and
a long time,
decades of doing it
literally.
for, and it's before you even started school. It's just wild. I think that's what makes dance so unique and why this career transition is quite unique for dancers, just because most of us start before we even start grade school,
Right.
which is just wild to think about. Like, no wonder we have these deep rooted
Yeah.
things that are just in us, but lots of good things from it as well.
Mhm.
So what does life look like now for you? I know you just got married. What is like a day in the life?
Yeah. So I am like our lead stylist at this home staging company. So we have this is actually like our busiest week we've ever had. We have 10, no, 9 different houses that we're like bringing furniture into. So wake up early, sometimes do a workout class before work. Work starts at like 7:30. So I'll drive there. I've got like a 15-minute drive, which is like great. Not bad at all. Get to the warehouse, pack up. We like select all of our furniture beforehand, which is great. So we have like this little system to like pick our furniture and our art and everything. We'll have movers that come, load up the truck, drive over to the house. It's a mad dash. It's like moving in every single day. Lots of unboxing, hanging art, steaming sheets, making sure everything is like picture perfect. So that way they can take their photographs and get the houses on the market and then back to the warehouse. And then I'll also like coordinate the schedule for like the rest of our stylists and like just if there's anything that like needs to be redone, I'm the gal. I'm the last minute gal. I'll get things done. And then after work, I'll come home. I'll walk our cutie little dog Luna, cook dinner. Josh, my husband, will come home at like 5:45, so he'll probably be home in like 15 minutes. We'll eat dinner together, like catch up on Netflix, walk Luna again for our like family walk, and then go to bed and do it all the next day.
I love it. I love it. I think, it's funny because at the end of my dance career, that kind of life, mine is very similar. My day to day, like kind of the 9 to 5 thing, that was dreamier to me than living the dream, like kind of having a
Yeah,
simple thing where it's like you have you have your home, you're not, because I did ships and stuff, so I was kind of all over the place and I didn't have a home base. Like just having a home and having a partner and it's like that's
yeah,
so dreamy when you are just chasing the next contract. So I think that's funny too, how you know, it is a mindset shift though to kind of to romanticize the sort of ordinary day to
yeah.
day, which I think is so lovely, It's
I do too. I
yeah.
like. I feel like we were on such opposite schedules, or if we have kids, like I didn't want to be. And there's so many great working moms who make it happen, and I like
Yes.
fully applaud them. But I just don't know if that was what I wanted to do. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
to be looking back in, 20, 30 years and be like, I'll rephrase that. What I always say is I don't think I would look back and be like, wow, I really missed doing that show, but I could look back and be like, wow, I really missed out on life. So just like being on the same schedule together has been amazing. Having weekends back.
Oh my
Oh,
God, I know.
that's the best.
You have
Oh,
holidays, you can like
I
actually
know.
go. Yeah,
So
I
it's just
know.
like the little things that are actually more important than I thought that they were when I was chasing my original like dance dream. And like I think that dreams can change. Like we change so much just as human beings, even if you weren't in this industry from like your 20s to your 30s. So it's kind of natural that you might want something different. And I think that that's okay.
100%. Yeah, I completely agree. And it sounds like you're, yeah, living a new dream, which is really cool. I haven't spoken to any dancers who've gone into interior design, but I actually have a few friends who are into that and trying to get into it. So hopefully they're watching this and
Oh,
and be
cool.
like, just go for it. You just
Yeah.
go ahead. Why not?
I've actually talked to a couple different friends who've connected people to me and they've like ended up working at the same company I started out at, which is cool. So,
Yeah.
am I allowed to say a company name if I want to like blast it?
Yeah, I think so. I
Okay.
don't see why not.
So, the company I started with was Havenly. So they're nationwide. They do a lot of virtual design, which is like super great for that if you wanted to. So I think that's always like a good starting point to look
Amazing.
at.
Yeah, cool. I'll link that down below for anybody who's interested in
Cool.
Havenly. Sounds good. Cool. I think we'll leave it at there, but thank you so much for joining me and for sharing a bit of your story.
Of course.
And yeah, we'll see you next time.
All right. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.